Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've got another item from my Minton box, Minton card collection that I've decided to open. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Star Wars Han Solo's land speeder from the Solo movie.
Welcome to the party, pal!
All right, guys, so let's quickly take a look at the packaging and let me tell you the little story behind this one. So I've mentioned this in other videos where I've been opening up Minton box, Minton card stuff. Typically, especially with Star Wars, I won't open it unless I have two. I like to keep one Minton card, like to open the other one. This one, I only ever got one. I'm not sure why. I know I always meant to go back and get a second one, but I never did. And then they got more expensive. It got late. They were harder to find. And so I never got a second one. Been purging the collection. I saw this in the box and said, I've been holding on to this for quite some time. Always wanted to open it, have several other speeders, and I will compare this one to some of those when we get the box open. But that's how I came to have this. This was from the Solo movie. So this was kind of, I think, the beginning of the end of the honeymoon between Star Wars, Disney, and the fans. There was a lot of goodwill after The Force Awakens and after Rogue One. But this movie and Last Jedi, I think, really split the fandom. And this line just didn't do that well. It was a 5 POA line. But of course, vintage collection figures work better than the figures that come with them because they are highly articulated. So I always got this with the idea that I would put highly articulated Han Solo in this speeder. I don't think I'm going to do talk too much about the figure that's in there, except the fact that I would like to see that figure in the vintage collection and be highly articulated. So if you remember at this time, they were doing the Force Link 2 stuff. Um, Here's an image from the movie. Looks like there it says wear Force Link 2 to activate the sounds. Bubble for the figure. It does say Han Solo Corellia. Not much to this packaging. Nice image there of the figure and the vehicle. It does say crash eject zone, and it does say launches the figure. So it's got like an ejection seat to throw the figure out of the speeder when he crashes. I'll read this really quick to you because it is really small. It says Han Solo's land speeder. Han is cagey about where he scored this overpowered M68 land speeder, saying little beyond that its previous owner had no longer had need of it. The M68 is a design from the ancient core world of Corellia, now our principal starship production facility of the Galactic Empire. So that's the packaging. Looks really good. Always wanted to open this. Love the stripe along the side here. Let's get him open. Okay, guys, so here we have Han Solo's land speeder out of packaging, and I gotta admit, it looks great. It's a lot bigger, like wider than I thought it would be. Very, very impressed. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice. It did come with this one sheet of instructions. It does basically tell you how to put this piece on right here. It is a separate piece. Shows you how to put the figure in the cockpit and how to use the action feature to get him to get ejected. And then it also talks about the force link that they used to do to make the sound effects and how that works. Not much to that. I do have a couple of my other favorite speeders here uh, with this one for comparison, but we'll do that after we take a look at this one. Here is the Solo figure that comes with it. And like I mentioned when we were looking at the box, I wouldn't mind getting this figure in the vintage collection, fully articulated. It's not a bad face likeness. It does come with the blaster. And this is probably going to go right into my fodder box, but it does have a removable vest. And of course, that gun you can use any figure. and the head is on a ball joint, so you could use that on a custom. So there's pieces here that you could still use. It's not a total loss, at least for me, this being a 5 POA type figure. But I would like to see this figure in the vintage collection, fully articulated with the gloves, so he could fit into the speeder better. Um, but that is the figure. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Let's look at the speeder. It looks great, guys. It does have this soft rubber um, up front piece here. You think you can see how it bends there? That's the action feature. I'll put the figure in it and show you. It does work pretty good. Um, Not bad. Blue. You can see they did try to put a little bit of weathering on here, um, but I think this is supposed to be, like a muscle car. So, like most muscle cars, I think the owner, they kept it in good condition. So this isn't like Millennium Falcon type weathering. It would have been nice though to get sort of a metallic wash over the gray parts, and that's something I might be able to do myself. But I think just the gray could really use a nice metallic wash back here too. It's like they started to do a little bit of kind of weathering. I think you can see that there on the camera. They do like a little blue tint around edge of the engines. Let's look at the cockpit here. And see, there is a sticker decal there on the console, and there is I guess, a steering wheel, but it doesn't move or anything. There's a lot of sculpting in there. Let me move this light just a little bit. See, there's a lot going on in there, a lot of sculpt. Seats look pretty cool. Headrests. It's a nice little speeder. I guess it's not that little if you compare it to this one. This is from Attack of the Clones, Sam Vessel's. Same feature too. It's funny that this is, gosh, 20 years older, but the feature is the same. It's got the soft rubber that when you hit it, these panels pop off. And then this one too, also from the Attack of the Clones, soft rubber here. Hit it, and these panels pop off. Um, I will say these rubber pieces on all of them, you really do have to keep them sort of covered and clean because they're not sticky, but dust is attracted to them. And even just having this out for a little bit, I can already see there's a little bit of dust getting kind of stuck on it. So, but nothing you can't just wipe with a towel if you choose to do so. So that is the speeder in a nutshell. It's really nice. So you can see how much wider it is, and it's a lot longer. I'd love to see them do more speeders. I know we're going to be getting Luke's land speeder here soon. It's going to get the vintage collection treatment. I'd love to see something like this get the vintage collection treatment. You know, better paint, even more sculpt. You can remove the feature, the play feature. Not that it's bad or anything. I actually think this one's pretty good. Let's put this Boris Ping girl in here. I noticed though it does work better, and it should, right, with 3.75-inch figures than it does with 118. But all the figures, the 375 or 118, they do have trouble reaching the steering wheel when they're actually sitting down how they're supposed to be with their butt in the seat and their back against the chair. They do have trouble reaching that steering wheel, 118 or 375. But I'm going to hit this. You'll see how good this is. Actually, pretty good feature here. See, it really does eject the person, and then you really just reset it, right, just like that. So that was a Boris Ping girl. She saw that she fit in there. Let's put Farm Boy Luke in there. He knows a thing or two about speeders, and he fits right in there too. Perfect fit. But again, just like the Boris Ping figure, they don't quite reach the steering wheel. And I'm not sure why that is the case, but he can easily reach down and grab the stick shift. Here's a Eagle Force figure. You can see he fits right in perfect too. So this thing's going to work with both scales, 118 and 375. 375 is a little bit better. Here's a Boss Fight Studio Flash Gordon, and I noticed for him it worked better if I bent his knees a little bit and kind of sat him in there like that. He does have a holster there. The guy is kind of propping him up, but you can see he fits in there too. So all these figures look really good in there. It's a really good vehicle. Like to see more speeders in the vintage collection, not just Luke's. All right, guys, so that is the video. I really like this. I can recommend it. I'm not sure how hard it is to get now on the secondary market. Um, Unfortunately, they were really cheap. After the Solo movie, you probably could have picked one of these up for $5 or $10. I don't know what they go for now, but it's definitely worth getting in your collection. Play feature aside, I do think it is a really good speeder, and the play feature does work. A little wash on here, I think, would go a long way. But otherwise, this is a buy, guys. Let me know if you bought this when it came out or if you're considering getting it now. I'm sure a lot of you had it. I wish I would have opened it sooner. I wish I would have got a second one. I'd be more inclined to try to paint it, um, but I don't think I will this time. Very nice. All right, guys, so that is the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.